I finally met my online girlfriend, and a Christmas gift turned into a heartbreak. I traveled across country to meet the love of my life, but she could barely look at me. Was it anxiety? Or was she never mine? I had been talking to Lily for almost 2 years. It started with a random post in an online forum, then a reply, then another. Before I knew it, we were messaging every day, finding reasons to share little bits of our lives with each other. She was funny, sharp, and had this way of turning even the most mundane conversation into something special. We bonded over the same niche interests, our shared love for late-night talks, and the way we both seemed to be searching for something more in life. Eventually, it wasn't just messages, it was voice calls, then video calls. I knew what her laugh sounded like, how she tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear when she was nervous, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about her passions. Somewhere along the way, she told her friends and family about me, called me her boyfriend. The idea of that thrilled me, but something in me hesitated. I needed to meet her first, needed to know what this was outside the safety of a screen. So, for Christmas, I decided to make it happen. I booked a flight from the US to Canada, set up a hotel, and told her I was coming. The trip was expensive, but I didn't care. This was Lily, the girl I had imagined a future with. Day 1. The first meeting. When I landed, I was exhausted but excited. I had spent the whole flight picturing how our first moments together would go. Would she run into my arms? Would we laugh about how weird it was to finally see each other in person? But when I got to my hotel, she wasn't there. I texted her. She said she needed some time. Her anxiety was bad. I understood. I told her I'd wait. 2 hours passed. Then 3. Finally, she arrived. When I opened the door, she was standing there, shaking, tears streaming down her face. My heart clenched. She was overwhelmed, and I didn't know how to fix it. I hugged her gently, trying to soothe her, and she clung to me like she was afraid I would disappear. We went to her car, and she took me to her place. I met her brother. We sat around awkwardly, and after a while, she said she was too anxious to drive me back, so I should take an Uber. I did. That night, lying alone in my hotel room, I tried to convince myself this was just the first hurdle. Day 2. The get-together. I woke up early, hoping today would be different. I waited for her to wake up. And waited. 4 hours later, she messaged me. Still nervous. Still not ready. I told her it was okay. I found a nearby store, picked up some things, got her food from a local spot she had mentioned liking. When I finally got to her place, she barely touched her food. Then she said we were going to a party with her friends. I was surprised. I had expected some one-on-one time, but I went along with it. The party was an hour away, and when we got there, it was clear her friends already knew a lot about me. They were warm, welcoming, and she seemed excited to introduce me as her boyfriend. But the entire night, she barely spoke to me. She was either with her friends or playing games, and I found myself just there. By the time we left, I was thinking, finally, we have the rest of the night together. But as soon as we got in the car, she asked her brother if he could drop me off at the hotel before they went home. I sat there, staring out the window, feeling a sinking weight in my chest. I was in a foreign country, minutes away from the girl I had waited years to meet, and I had never felt more alone. Day 3. The truth sets in. I didn't message her much the next day. I didn't know what to say. She messaged me first. Said she was sorry, that she wanted this trip to be worth it for me, but she was drained. She promised that after dinner with her mom, we'd finally get time together. But by then I already knew that time wouldn't fix this. That no matter how much I cared, she wasn't ready. Maybe she never had been. Maybe the idea of me had been easier than the reality. We had built something beautiful through screens and wires, but when faced with each other, it all crumbled. That night, after dinner, she texted me again. I'm so sorry, but I think I just need to be alone tonight. I stared at my phone for a long time before replying. It's okay. The goodbye that wasn't. The next morning, I took my flight home. She texted me to have a safe trip. I wanted to tell her everything. How much I loved her. How much this hurt. How badly I had wanted this to work. But instead, I just said, thanks. And that was the last time we really talked. Looking back, I don't regret going. I needed to know. But the hardest part wasn't the trip itself. It was realizing that sometimes love isn't enough. that timing, readiness, and reality all matter. I had flown across the country for her, but in the end, she couldn't even cross the street for me. And that was the real heartbreak.